Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. This is a big day for ThoughtSpace Athletics. They have partnered up with Discraft to bring a brand new mold. It's called the Expanse. How does it fly? Better yet, how does it feel? And did ThoughtSpace take it too far by partnering up with one of the biggest disc golf companies?
Doesn't it seem weird?
I'm gonna answer all those questions. Let's go. Hey guys, if you haven't heard, Discraft has partnered up with ThoughtSpace Athletics to bring out a brand new mold. This is called the Parallel Expanse. Now, at first look, it seems very similar to like a swirly ESP plastic, but I gotta say, as soon as I touched it, it felt very similar to the Aura, Nebula Aura plastic, maybe a tiny bit less tacky, but the feel is definitely there. It's definitely softer than ESP Swirl, but you guys don't want to know all about that. You guys want to see how this flies. Now don't worry, I've got some other discs like the Surge SS, the Drive, and some of my Animuses, and we're going to go head to head with this Expanse to see how it flies. Enough talking, let's start throwing. So first off, it's about 30 degrees, so just keep that in mind. I'm gonna do my best to do a nice consistent throw. It is a little chilly out here, so let's do it. Here we go. Numbers on the Expanse are 11, 5, -2, 2. Oh, baby. Yes, sir. That is going a long ways out there. Wow, love it. Okay, first initial throw. Flew exactly how expected, 11, 5, -2, 2 to fly. It's beautiful. Now I know a lot of you guys out there are curious about how does that fly against the Page Pierce Drive. Got a couple out here. Numbers on the Drive are 11, 5, -1, 2. So let's try that. Oh, very similar flight. Drive might be a little bit more stable. And then another disc from Discraft that has the exact same numbers as the Expanse is the Surge SS. Got a stack of them right here. Now these are all in the Z plastic, so just keep that in mind too. All right, pretty similar flight. I'd say it did not go as far as the Expanse though. I know you guys have a lot of questions out there just like me. First question I'm going to answer is, how can you guys get your hands on one of these? Well, at the expo this weekend, ThoughtSpace Athletic is going to be there. They're going to have 500 of them for sale. Once they're gone, they're gone. Then after that, they're hoping to have their stock release somewhere at the end of February. So if you're not able to make it to the expo, hang on tight. It'll be here by the end of February, hopefully. Okay, first initial throws, you can see the Surge SS and the Drive are right about here. We're about 380, and then sitting about 21 feet further, a little over 400, we got the Expanse. So far so good. This thing's flying pretty nice. Let's keep testing it. Now, compared to ESP and ESP Swirl, I gotta say this parallel plastic is a little bit softer for sure. I could definitely tell as soon as I took this out of the box and I felt it, definitely felt a lot like Nebula Aura plastic. Maybe it's got a tiny bit less tackiness to it, like Aura plastic's got a little bit of tackiness to it. This didn't have quite as much tackiness to it, but had all the give and the flexibility that we're used to with ThoughtSpace Athletic discs. All right, we got a basket out there, well over 400 feet. We're probably about 450. Not sure if we're gonna get there with this, but let's give it a shot. Oh my gosh. This is gonna be one of my newest favorite drivers. I can already tell. Holy cow, guys. That crushed, and did you see it? It was just nice and flat, not too far off the ground. Guys, this is a gem. All right, let's go up against the Drive. Yeah, it's just not going as far as the Expanse for sure. Yeah, I think that Drive, because it doesn't have the -2, it's really got only a -1, not getting that extra glide. All right, Surge SS definitely has that -2, at least in the numbers. Let's try it. Yeah, it's not pushing like the Expanse. All right, guys, I just gotta say, Expanse, it just goes far. So next set of questions I'm gonna answer are some that come directly from Aaron, the owner of ThoughtSpace Athletics. First question I had for him was, is MVP gonna continue to mold the discs that they're currently doing? Yes. My follow-up question was, do you see discontinuing any molds? Answer was no. So that's good. So if you like the existing ThoughtSpace discs, no need to worry. They're going to be around for a long time. Then my next question is, do you see yourself making some more molds with Discraft other than just the Expanse? Answer was yes. We're looking to do at least 3 or 4 in the coming year, which I gotta say, I'm super excited about this. I know there's been a little bit of questions out there about whether this is a good move or not. But don't worry, I'm gonna talk about that here in a second. Okay guys, I gotta say, this Expanse crushes. I was 450 from this basket, got all the way there with this Expanse first throw, and then the drive, the Surge SS, I don't know if you can see it, but Surge SS is at least 100 feet back. This Expanse, man, I gotta say, this sucker crushes. We're gonna try a little hyzer, pop up to flat shot with the Expanse. Let's see how she does. Oh, beautiful. With that headwind, and then we get the S turn out of it. All right, that's another bomb. Guys, I don't throw 400 feet very often, but that's easily going way past that. Easy distance for arm speed like me. I think you guys who like those Gorgons and those trails out there might want to pick this up. I think this is going to give it a run for its money. In fact, that sounds like a good upcoming video, so stay tuned for that. We're going to go head to head, Trail, Gorgon, Expanse. All right, let's do one more throw. We're going to do a little Anheuser throw, and then I'm going to give you my final thoughts on whether this was a good move for ThoughtSpace or not. All right, Expanse only, slight Anheuser. Here we go. Yes, flatten out a little bit. Oh, that is beautiful. As you can see with that -2.2, it'll hold an Anheuser. Great long turnover shot. I mean, if you want a long driving disc that's easy to throw, gotta check this out. And I know there's some chatter out there, especially on some podcasts, about whether this was a good move or not for ThoughtSpace. Let's see what one of the thoughts are out there.
The disc they're dropping is the Expanse. It's 11.5 -2.2. Oh. What are y'all's thoughts on it? What are y'all's thoughts on this partnership? What was your reception?
I don't understand how it happens. I know this has happened before with like Discmania and stuff like that, but like, doesn't it seem weird to then tie your name to a company whose name is tied to a competing company? Like
ThoughtSpace has only ever been manufactured by another company.
I know. I'm saying Discraft is now tying their name to ThoughtSpace, whose name is tied to Streamline.
That's an interesting point, but let's see what Discraft themselves says about it.
Think about this. I mean, you drive a Mazda, right?
Yeah.
Ford has helped with Mazda in the past and helped build parts and helped with distribution and things like that, but it's not owned by Ford to where Ford and Lincoln or Mercury, there's other relationships. There's different levels to it. Sure, we're leasing them a mold, and we changed some parts around on a mold that we're not using anymore and modified it to their liking, and it gives us an opportunity to reuse a mold and make new pieces for it and lease that out to them, and helps them be able to grow and do things, for disc golf. I think the biggest thing people need to think about is disc golf still a niche sport that's small, so we need to be able to work together and help grow new avenues and new ideas and build new competition. So ThoughtSpace is like-minded. Aaron Wilmot over there is a buddy of mine. We kind of just started becoming friends since we've had the first conversation about potentially doing this, and we're like-minded. It's just building a network to be able to sponsor new players and sponsor events that, isn't just 2 or 3 companies holding everything together in the sport and holding people back from growing. So
when your brand is only tied to one company, it's a little bit easier to maybe even fly under the radar to the more casual players as to the idea of like, okay, only one. Maybe they just have the thought that this is just ThoughtSpace's plastic. The second you bring in another quite different plastic blend, I think it really kind of pulls back the curtain a little more, and you very much become a custom stamp company at that point.
I just want to draw attention to one point. ThoughtSpace Athletics is a 4-man operation. We got Aaron, Paul, Chase, and Erica, and that's it. So you got to keep this in mind. When you guys think of disc golf companies, sometimes you guys think of MVP, Discraft, Innova, who's got hundreds of employees out there manufacturing discs all over the place. ThoughtSpace Athletics It's 4 people, and that's it. Really grassroots. They've got a great feel and vibe to them. And if it takes them to do partnerships with other big disc golf companies, I'm all here for it. In fact, the more, the merrier. Bring it on, especially if it's good quality stuff like this Expanse. Well, guys, I gotta say, this Expanse in the parallel plastic is phenomenal. I gotta say, this is another everyman's driver. Very similar to like a Trail, Gorgon, just great, easy distance. I can't wait to take this out and actually do a head-to-head with those guys. Well, guys, I feel like this is a big move on behalf of ThoughtSpace Athletics. I know some of you purists out there are trying to think of ways to throw stones at ThoughtSpace because maybe they're not being true to MVP plastics or whatnot, but before you start throwing stones at the old spaceman, just remember, this is a 4-man operation who's doing some big things. And I feel like the more partners they can get out there in the disc golf world, the better. Thanks for tuning in. Until I see you guys next time, peace out.
It's one small step for man, one giant leap for
ThoughtSpace.
Oh, that looks beautiful from here. It has a such beauty all its own. It's